Imagine if your hair could grow faster, thicker, and stronger, and the shedding just stopped. What if one simple ingredient could wake up weak hair follicles and turn thin, lifeless hair into strong, healthy hair again? Today, I want to share what I believe is one of the most powerful tools for hair strength and growth, inspired by the work of Dr. Berg DC. Most people focus only on shampoos or expensive treatments, but real hair health starts at the root. When hair falls out easily or stops growing, it's often because the scalp is inflamed, circulation is poor, or the follicles are lacking key nutrients. If the follicle is weak, no product can magically fix the hair strand. You have to support the scalp first. This is where a powerful hair oil comes in. Not just any oil, but one ingredient that deeply nourishes the scalp, improves blood flow, and helps reduce the main causes of hair fall. This oil has natural compounds that support the hair growth cycle and help protect follicles from damage caused by stress, poor diet, and hormonal imbalance. When you massage this oil into your scalp, something important happens. Blood circulation increases, oxygen and nutrients reach the hair roots, and dormant follicles can slowly start becoming active again. Over time, hair feels stronger at the root, breakage reduces, and shedding during washing or combing becomes much less noticeable. One of the reasons this ingredient is so powerful is because it helps calm scalp inflammation. Inflammation is a silent enemy of hair growth. It slowly weakens follicles until hair becomes thin and starts falling out. By supporting a healthier scalp environment, this oil allows hair to grow the way it was designed to grow. Dr. Berg DC often talks about addressing root causes instead of just symptoms. Hair loss is a symptom. The root cause is usually nutritional stress, poor circulation, or chronic inflammation. A properly chosen hair oil works directly where the problem starts, on the scalp and the follicle itself. To use it, take a small amount of the oil and gently massage it into your scalp using your fingertips. Do this slowly, not aggressively. This helps stimulate the scalp without causing irritation. Leave it on for at least 30 minutes, or even overnight if your scalp tolerates it well, then wash with a mild shampoo. Consistency matters more than quantity. Using it 2 to 3 times a week is enough. Over time, many people notice less hair on the pillow, less hair in the shower drain, and a healthier shine to their hair. New baby hairs may start appearing along the hairline, which is often a sign that follicles are becoming more active again. Remember, hair growth is not instant. Hair grows in cycles, and real improvement takes weeks, not days. But when you support your scalp with the right ingredients and stay consistent, the results can be surprising. If you want stronger hair that grows better and falls out less, focus on nourishing the scalp, improving circulation, and reducing inflammation. Sometimes the most powerful tool isn't expensive or complicated. It's simple, natural, and used the right way. If this helped you, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more health tips inspired by Dr. Berg DC, and share this with someone who's struggling with hair fall. Stronger hair starts with smarter choices. When we talk about supporting scalp circulation and reactivating weak hair follicles, we're really talking about getting back to the basics of how hair actually grows. Hair doesn't start on your head, it starts beneath the surface. Every single strand of hair depends on a tiny structure called the hair follicle, and that follicle is alive. It needs oxygen, nutrients, healthy blood flow, and a calm environment to do its job properly. When circulation slows down or becomes restricted, the follicle doesn't die immediately, but it becomes lazy, weak, and inactive. That's when hair growth slows, hair becomes thinner, and shedding increases. Many people don't realize that poor scalp circulation is one of the biggest hidden reasons behind hair loss. You can have the best genetics, the best shampoo, and even take supplements, but if blood flow to the scalp is compromised, your hair follicles are basically starving. They are not getting enough oxygen or nutrients to stay strong. Over time, the follicle shrinks, the hair strand becomes finer, and eventually it may stop producing hair altogether. This is often what people experience as gradual thinning rather than sudden hair loss. Dr. Berg DC often emphasizes the importance of circulation when it comes to overall health, and hair growth is no exception. The scalp is skin, and just like the skin on your face or body, it responds to improved blood flow. When circulation increases, more nutrients reach the follicle, waste products are removed more efficiently, and the environment around the hair root becomes healthier. This is exactly what weak follicles need in order to wake up and start functioning again. A powerful hair oil works as a tool to support this process. When applied and massaged into the scalp, it helps stimulate blood vessels just beneath the skin. This gentle stimulation encourages better blood flow, which means more oxygen and nutrients can reach the follicle. Over time, this improved circulation can help shift follicles from a resting phase back into a growth phase. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistency, the change can be noticeable. One important thing to understand is that hair follicles don't usually disappear. In most cases of hair thinning, the follicles are still there, but they are inactive or producing very weak hair. Think of them like a factory running at 10% capacity. The goal is not to create new follicles, but to support the ones you already have so they can start working properly. Improved circulation plays a major role in this reactivation process. Stress is another major factor that reduces scalp circulation. When the body is under stress, blood is redirected to vital organs, and areas like the scalp receive less supply. Chronic stress can keep follicles stuck in a resting phase for long periods of time. This is why many people notice increased hair shedding during stressful phases of life. Supporting circulation through scalp massage and nourishing oils helps counteract this effect by encouraging blood flow back to the scalp. The scalp can also become tight and tense over time, especially in people who experience headaches, jaw tension, or neck stiffness. This tension can physically restrict blood flow to the hair follicles. When you massage a hair oil into the scalp, you're not just applying a product, you are helping relax the tissue, loosen the scalp, and allow blood vessels to expand. A relaxed scalp is a healthier scalp, and a healthier scalp supports better hair growth. Another overlooked issue is buildup on the scalp. Excess oil, dead skin cells, and residue from hair products can clog follicles and interfere with circulation at the surface level. A nourishing oil, when used correctly, can help soften this buildup and support a cleaner scalp environment. This allows follicles to breathe better and respond more effectively to improved blood flow. As circulation improves, something interesting happens. Hair roots begin to anchor more firm. Lie into the scalp. This means less hair fall during washing, brushing, or even running your fingers through your hair. Many people notice that their hair feels stronger at the root before they notice any visible increase in growth. This is an important early sign that follicles are becoming healthier. Improved blood flow also supports the delivery of key nutrients that follicles rely on, such as minerals, fatty acids, and oxygen. Without adequate circulation, even a perfect diet cannot fully support hair growth. The nutrients may be present in the bloodstream, but they won't reach the follicle efficiently. By improving circulation at the scalp level, you help bridge this gap and make better use of the nutrients your body already has. Another benefit of better scalp circulation is temperature regulation. A healthy scalp maintains a balanced temperature that supports follicle activity. Poor circulation can lead to a scalp that feels cold or numb, which is not ideal for hair growth. Increased blood flow helps maintain a warm, supportive environment where follicles can thrive. When weak follicles begin to reactivate, you may notice small, fine hairs appearing in areas that previously looked thin. These are often called baby hairs. At first, they may seem insignificant, but they are a positive sign that follicles are transitioning back into a growth phase. With continued support, these hairs can become thicker and stronger over time. Consistency is the key factor here. Scalp circulation is not a one-time event. Just like exercise improves blood flow to muscles over time, regular scalp massage with a powerful hair oil gradually improves circulation to the follicles. Skipping weeks at a time can slow progress, while a steady routine encourages lasting change. It's also important to be gentle. Aggressive rubbing or scratching can damage the scalp and actually reduce circulation by causing irritation. The goal is to stimulate, not stress, the scalp. Slow, circular motions with your fingertips are enough to encourage blood flow without causing harm. As follicles become healthier, the hair growth cycle begins to normalize. Hair spends more time in the growth phase and less time in the shedding phase. This leads to fuller-looking hair over time. While genetics and hormones still play a role, supporting circulation gives your follicles the best possible chance to perform at their highest potential. Another point Dr. Berg DC often highlights is that the body works as a system. Improving scalp circulation doesn't just help hair, it reflects better overall vascular health. When you focus on improving blood flow locally through massage and nourishment, you're also reinforcing the importance of circulation throughout the body. Many people give up on hair growth solutions because they expect instant results. But hair growth is slow by nature. What matters is creating the right conditions and maintaining them consistently. Supporting scalp CI Raculation is one of the most effective ways to do that because it addresses the root cause rather than just the surface appearance of hair. Over weeks and months, as circulation improves and follicles become more active, hair texture often changes. Hair may feel thicker, stronger, and more resilient. Breakage reduces, and hair becomes easier to manage. These changes often appear gradually, but they are signs that the follicles are healthier and better supported. In the long run, supporting scalp circulation is not just about growing more hair, it's about keeping the hair you have. Strong, well-nourished follicles are less likely to shed prematurely. This means better hair density and a more youthful appearance over time. If you're serious about improving hair growth and reducing hair fall, focusing on scalp circulation is one of the smartest steps you can take. It's simple, natural, and directly targets the foundation of hair health. With the right hair oil, proper massage, and consistency, weak follicles can be encouraged to wake up, strengthen, and start producing healthier hair again. This is not a quick fix, but it is a powerful and sustainable approach that aligns with the principles of addressing root causes. Just as Dr. Berg DC teaches, when we talk about reducing inflammation that triggers hair fall and thinning, we are talking about one of the most overlooked but most damaging factors affecting hair health. Inflammation is often silent. You don't always see redness, pain, or obvious irritation, yet it can slowly weaken hair follicles day by day. Many people focus only on hair strands, but inflammation starts at the scalp level, and once it becomes chronic, it disrupts the entire hair growth cycle. Hair follicles are extremely sensitive structures. They respond quickly to changes in their environment. When the scalp is inflamed, even mildly, follicles receive stress signals. These signals tell the follicle that conditions are not safe for growth. As a result, hair shifts prematurely from the growth phase into the shedding phase. This is why inflammation is strongly linked to increased hair fall, thinning, and slower regrowth. One of the biggest problems with inflammation is that it doesn't always cause itching or discomfort. Many people assume that if their scalp doesn't itch, it must be healthy. That's not true. Low-grade inflammation can exist for years without obvious symptoms, quietly shrinking follicles and weakening hair roots. Over time, this leads to thinner hair strands and noticeable loss of density. Dr. Berg DC often explains that chronic inflammation is at the root of many health problems, and hair loss is no exception. Inflammation can be triggered by many factors, including poor diet, high sugar intake, stress, hormonal imbalance, nutrient deficiencies, and even harsh hair products. When these factors are present consistently, the scalp never fully recovers and follicles remain under constant stress. Inflammation affects blood flow as well. Inflamed tissue tends to restrict circulation, which means fewer nutrients and less oxygen reach the follicles. This creates a double problem. Not only are follicles receiving damaging inflammatory signals, but they are also being deprived of the very nutrients they need to stay strong. Over time, this combination accelerates hair thinning and shedding. Another important aspect of inflammation is its effect on the scalp's natural barrier. A healthy scalp has a protective layer that keeps moisture in and harmful substances out. Chronic inflammation weakens this barrier, making the scalp more vulnerable to irritation, dryness, and sensitivity. Once this barrier is compromised, follicles become even more exposed to stress, further worsening hair fall. A powerful hair oil can play an important role in calming this inflammatory environment. Certain natural compounds help soothe the scalp, support the skin barrier, and reduce the signals that tell follicles to shut down growth. When inflammation is reduced, follicles can return to a more balanced state where growth becomes possible again. Reducing inflammation does not mean suppressing the scalp aggressively. The goal is to restore balance. When you apply a nourishing hair oil and gently massage it into the scalp, you help support the scalp's natural healing process. This gentle approach encourages relaxation of the tissue, reduces tension, and helps the scalp move out of a constant stress response. Stress itself is a major driver of inflammation. Chronic stress raises stress hormones that increase inflammatory signals throughout the body, including the scalp. This is why hair shedding often increases during emotionally or physically stressful periods. By supporting the scalp directly and creating a calming routine, you can help counteract some of this stress-related inflammation. Inflammation also affects the oil glands on the scalp. When the scalp is inflamed, oil production can become unbalanced. Some people experience excessive oiliness, while others experience dryness and flaking. Both extremes are signs of an unhealthy scalp environment. Balanced oil production is important because natural oils help protect the scalp and support follicle health. When inflammation is reduced, oil glands begin to function more normally. The scalp becomes less reactive, less sensitive, and better able to support consistent hair growth. Many people notice that their scalp feels calmer and more comfortable before they see visible improvements in hair thickness. This is an important early sign of progress. Another key issue is how inflammation shortens the hair growth cycle. Normally, hair spends most of its time growing. In an inflamed scalp, this growth phase becomes shorter, and the resting and shedding phases become longer. Over time, this leads to more hair fall and less regrowth. By reducing inflammation, you help normalize this cycle so hair can spend more time growing less time falling out. Environmental factors also contribute to scalp inflammation. Pollution, harsh water, and frequent use of strong chemical products can irritate the scalp and trigger inflammatory responses. Even frequent heat styling can stress the scalp indirectly. A soothing hair oil can help protect the scalp from these external stressors and support recovery after exposure. Inflammation can also make the scalp more prone to microdamage. Tiny, invisible injuries to the skin can occur more easily when the scalp is inflamed. These small injuries further activate inflammatory pathways, creating a cycle that's difficult to break. Supporting scalp health with calming ingredients helps interrupt this cycle and allows the skin to heal. As inflammation decreases, follicles are better able to hold on to hair strands. This means less hair fall during washing and brushing. Many people first notice improvement as reduced shedding rather than immediate new growth. This is a positive sign that follicles are becoming more stable and less stressed. Reducing inflammation also improves how follicles respond to nutrients. Even if you are eating well, inflamed tissue does not absorb or utilize nutrients efficiently. When the scalp becomes calmer, follicles can better use the nutrients delivered through circulation. This makes every healthy habit more effective. Hormonal fluctuations can also increase scalp inflammation, especially during periods of imbalance. While topical care alone cannot correct hormones, creating a low inflammation scalp environment helps reduce the impact of these fluctuations on hair follicles. This supportive approach gives follicles a better chance to remain active despite internal changes. Another benefit of reducing inflammation is improved scalp flexibility. A stiff, inflamed scalp restricts follicle movement and blood flow. A healthier, calmer scalp is more flexible and responsive, which supports better circulation and nutrient delivery. This flexibility is often associated with stronger, thicker hair over time. It's important to understand that inflammation does not disappear overnight. Just like it builds gradually, it also resolves gradually. Consistent care is essential. Using a soothing hair oil regularly and avoiding harsh practices allows the scalp to slowly reset and recover. As weeks go by, many people notice that their scalp feels less sensitive, less tight, and more comfortable overall. Hair becomes easier to manage and breakage reduces. These changes may seem subtle at first, but they reflect deeper improvements in follicle health. Reducing inflammation is not just about stopping hair fall. It's about creating an environment where hair can grow without constant stress. When follicles are no longer under attack from inflammatory signals, they can focus their energy on producing strong, healthy hair. Dr. Berg DC often emphasizes that healing happens when the body is given the right conditions. A calm, low inflammation scalp is one of those conditions for healthy hair. By addressing inflammation directly, you are not masking the problem, you are removing one of the main obstacles to hair growth In the long term, reducing scalp inflammation helps preserve hair density and slows the progression of thinning. It supports stronger roots, longer growth phases, and more resilient hair overall. This approach aligns with the idea of working with the body rather than fighting against it. If hair fall and thinning have been persistent issues, inflammation is very likely part of the picture. Supporting the scalp, calming irritation, and restoring balance can make a meaningful difference over time. It may not be instant, but it is powerful, sustainable, and essential for lasting hair health. When we talk about deeply nourishing roots to strengthen the hair growth cycle, we are focusing on the foundation of long-term hair health. Hair does not become strong at the tips, it becomes strong at the root. The root is where the hair strand is formed, shaped, and supported. If the root is undernourished, the hair that grows out will be weak, thin, and more likely to fall out early. No matter how many products you apply to the hair length, they cannot fix a weak root. The hair growth cycle depends heavily on the condition of the follicle. Each follicle goes through phases of growth, rest, and shedding. When roots are well nourished, the growth phase lasts longer, the hair grows thicker, and shedding happens less often. When roots lack proper nourishment, the growth phase shortens, hair becomes finer, and shedding increases. Over time, this leads to visible thinning. One of the biggest reasons hair roots become weak is nutrient deficiency at the follicle level. Even if a person eats reasonably well, nutrients still need to reach the scalp and be absorbed properly by the follicle. Poor circulation, inflammation, stress, and scalp buildup can all interfere with this process. This is why topical nourishment, when done correctly, can be so powerful. It delivers support directly where the hair is formed. A strong hair oil works by penetrating the scalp and supporting the follicle environment. It doesn't just sit on the surface. When massaged in gently, it helps deliver beneficial compounds to the root area. These compounds support the natural structure of the follicle and help protect it from damage caused by daily stressors. Hair roots are constantly dividing and producing new cells during the growth phase. This process requires energy and raw materials. When roots are undernourished, cell production slows down. The hair that forms is thinner and weaker. By deeply nourishing the roots, you support this cell production process, allowing hair to grow stronger from the very beginning. Another important aspect of nourishment is moisture balance. A dry scalp often means dry, brittle roots. When roots lack moisture, they become fragile and more prone to breakage and shedding. A nourishing hair oil helps maintain proper moisture levels in the scalp, which keeps follicles flexible and resilient. This flexibility is important because stiff, dry follicles do not support healthy growth. Dr. Berg DC often talks about the importance of healthy fats for the body, and hair follicles are no exception. Hair roots rely on healthy fats to maintain their structure and function. These fats support the cell membranes within the follicle and help regulate signals involved in growth. A properly chosen hair oil provides external support that complements internal nutrition. Nourishing the roots also helps protect follicles from oxidative stress. Daily exposure to pollution, sunlight, and internal stress can create oxidative damage at the scalp level. Over time, this damage weakens follicles and disrupts the growth cycle. Nourishing oils contain compounds that help protect follicles from this stress, allowing them to function more efficiently. As roots become better nourished, hair begins to anchor more firmly into the scalp. This is one of the most noticeable early benefits. People often report that their hair feels stronger when they touch it or wash it. Less hair comes out during combing or showering. This is not just perception, it's a sign that follicles are holding onto hair strands more securely. Deep nourishment also supports the size of the hair follicle. Weak follicles tend to shrink over time, producing thinner hair strands with each cycle. When nourishment improves, follicles can maintain or even improve their size, leading to thicker hair growth. This is especially important for people experiencing gradual thinning rather than sudden hair loss. Another benefit of nourishing roots is improved scalp comfort. An undernourished scalp often feels tight, dry, or sensitive. These sensations indicate stress at the skin and follicle level. When nourishment is restored, the scalp feels more relaxed and balanced. This calm environment allows follicles to stay in the growth phase longer. Consistency plays a major role here. Hair roots do not respond to one-time treatments. Just like the rest of the body, they need ongoing support. Regular application of a nourishing hair oil creates a steady supply of beneficial compounds to the scalp. Over time, this consistent nourishment helps stabilize the hair growth cycle. As weeks pass, many people begin to notice changes in hair texture. Hair may feel softer yet stronger with less breakage. This is because the hair strand is forming under better conditions at the root. Healthy roots produce hair with better structure and resilience. Deep nourishment also helps improve the scalp's ability to recover from stress. Whether the stress comes from heat styling, environmental exposure, or internal factors, a well-nourished follicle can bounce back more easily. This resilience helps prevent temporary shedding from turning into long-term thinning. Another often overlooked benefit is improved communication between the follicle and surrounding tissue. Hair growth is regulated by complex signals in the skin. When roots are nourished, these signals function more smoothly. The follicle receives clearer messages to grow, rest, and renew at the right times. Nourishing the roots also supports pigment cells within the follicle. While this does not guarantee changes in hair color, healthier follicles are better equipped to maintain normal pigment function. This highlights how closely root nourishment is tied to overall hair quality. As the growth cycle strengthens, hair spends more time growing and less time shedding. This gradual shift leads to fuller-looking hair over months. The key word here is gradual. Hair growth is slow, but when the cycle is supported properly, the results are more stable and long-lasting. Many people make the mistake of switching products too quickly. They don't give their hair roots enough time to respond. Deep nourishment requires patience. Follicles need time to rebuild strength and normalize their cycle. Sticking with a routine allows these changes to accumulate. Dr. Berg DC often emphasizes working with the body rather than forcing results. Nourishing the roots aligns with this philosophy. You are not shocking the scalp or overstimulating follicles. You are providing steady support and allowing natural growth processes to function as intended. Over the long term, deeply nourished roots help protect against future hair loss. Strong follicles are more resistant to stress, hormonal shifts, and aging-related changes. This doesn't mean hair will never thin, but it does mean the process can slow down significantly. Another important point is that nourishment improves how follicles respond to other healthy habits. Good nutrition, stress management, and proper sleep all become more effective when the scalp environment is healthy. Nourished roots can actually take advantage of these habits instead of being blocked by poor scalp conditions. As hair density improves, confidence often improves as well. Hair plays a big role in how people see themselves. Supporting the roots is not just about appearance, it's about feeling better and more confident over time. In the end, deeply nourishing the roots is about restoring strength at the source. It supports thicker growth, reduces shedding, and helps stabilize the hair growth cycle. This approach doesn't rely on quick fixes or harsh treatments. It relies on consistency, patience, and respect for how the body naturally grows hair. If you want hair that grows better and stays longer, focusing on root nourishment is essential. Strong roots create strong hair. When the foundation is healthy, everything that grows from it has a better chance to thrive.